Greetings, everyone. Today is January 20th, 2016, and I wanted to get a little cosmic with you today. I don't know how much all of you follow things on YouTube about sightings of UFOs, which we really can no longer call that with any credibility. It has to be called starships or other phenomena that are related. But I don't follow it a lot, but once in a while I'll just be guided, I feel, to go up and just take a look at what's there. And of course, it all is really quite amazing. I've written, some on and shared other people's information or videos, at least videos with accompanying my information on, some of the phenomena that is being created by what I'm informed is the Pyramidus radius matrix. Not the matrix itself. I should backtrack a bit. It's being created by the natural earth process of integration with the higher vibration that is being raised on the planet through the Pyramidus radius matrix. I think that's the more accurate way of putting it. With the pillars of light and some of the other phenomena that are going on, an increasing amount of these things, because they are obviously natural phenomena. They're created by ice crystals, etc., but they are just being rampant all over the world now because of the amping of the frequency that is causing the ice canopy to grow back, to become part of our existence again. That's a whole other topic, but I'm very interested in that, so I do watch for those things. But there are also just some amazing, amazing videos that have been captured all over the world by different people of spaceship light Merkaba presences in the skies. I mean, these are so undeniable, and they're certainly not faked. There are just too many people in all these different countries showing up with the same thing, basically. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the plasma ships, because that term is coming up now with some of these. And I find that really exciting to me because, wow, back in the 1980s, Thoth was speaking about how all of the ultra ships were plasma-based. In other words, their operating systems were based in plasma functions. But then later he began to tell me about the actual really plasma ships that were so advanced. They were entirely of this ultra-dimensional plasmic condition. And the beings that actually were within it, some of them are remotely controlled, yes, but the ones that have beings within them, vibrate their frequency at a rate so that they don't see what we see in the skies. We're seeing these plasmic balls doing all this kind of marvelous stuff. But you see, it's like beings living inside the sun. It's the same thing. If you're in the right frequency with that experience, you're seeing something more tangible, more solid, more real to you, like walls and ceilings or whatever. And others are seeing this incredible plasma show because you are at a frequency where you can detect other levels of the elemental matter that it is encompassing. So first, I wanted to show you some of the videos, pieces, not all the videos, but just little bits and pieces. And I'm going to leave the sound of them down so that I can comment on some of these. So let's begin with this one. This was in July 2012. And the location of it, well, actually was uploaded on the, well, let's get away from this guy here. Come on, fellow, let's move it. There we are. It's actually filmed in October 2009. And as you can see, this is no ordinary, if we can call them ordinary, starship. It's far more advanced than that. And you can almost see in the center, as it turns, it's like a, the word escapes me, but So I guess it just escaped me. Here's the next one. But look at these things. This one reminds me very much of some of the lotus loci that I have done some artwork on that actually reside within us, as well in our bloodstream, as well as, micro levels, as well as throughout the universe, and certainly in the new earth, which are a high form of spirit being. And so I don't know exactly if this one might be some kind of lotus loci form, or if it is indeed just a plasma Merkaba of some kind that's highly advanced. Look at these waveforms. They're just really quite incredible. So why is all this going on? Well, that's edge detection that he had on there. Show it so you could see the edges of the outlines of them. You can be assured, at least I am assured, I can't say you can be assured, but I am assured that this type of craft, if we can even call it a craft, is far more advanced than the Greys and whatever, that have their own agendas here. We're dealing with here some very, very high, far advanced beings, ultra beings, that are working with us for the planet. When you see a type of energy like this in the skies. And look at what it's doing there. And why is it doing all this? I don't have all the answers, of course, but the only thing that I have been shown is that they are, in one form of what they are doing, is giving us this light show, showing us themselves, showing some of what they can do, presenting themselves, so that we become more and more accustomed to seeing them in our space. So then, there's another here. Okay, look at this one. As you can see with this one, there are various layers and colors involved in it. So one of the things they're doing is letting us see them and see some of what they can do. They're putting on a light show for us. It's not the only thing they're doing, but certainly that is one very important thing. And the other things have to do with working with the pyramid's radius matrix, setting the, I don't know what you would call it. It's like points, little points where the vectors come together. It's as if you were in a big computer graphics system, okay? And you set these little points where the vector graphics would match up and link together. Well, they're doing that in the skies, in the energy fields that they can see and experience, that is not empty space like we think. They're setting up these points that all intersect together and help form and build the pyramidus radius matrix, which is the grid of the planet that's being formed, encompassing everything, to be able to connect to the new Earth star hologram from this realm to that realm. It's a bridging between the two holographs. Let's see if it gets any closer. Well, pretty much the same images over and over, so let's try another one. Okay, this is really a different looking fellow here, but you can see there is an energy object in the center of that. Like a question mark. I'm going to move it along a little bit. You can see how it is changing shape and going through different processes. It really starts looking like a lotus loci there. but I don't know that that's actually what it is. But that's what it reminds me of. It's like almost like a living organism, which it well may be. If it's the lotus loci, it would be. It looks like a cell. Look at that. It's absolutely amazing. Thoth has spoken to me of not only lotus loci, but other plasma-like beings that are helping our planet. And they are in the skies. So a lot of these, it's hard to differentiate because they're the plasma ships, so to speak, with human-like beings within them. And then they're the plasma beings that are all plasmic being. And this is what this seems to be. I mean, it really does to me. I'm going to enlarge this for just a bit here. It's almost as if these lighter spots within inside the tubes might be children, babies, gestation in the womb, who knows? I have not received any specific information on these videos, so I'm only guessing. I would definitely say that's a living being of some kind. I can't imagine it not being. Just amazing. Oops. Well, this goes on for a ways, so I'm not going to continue, but with this particular video, but it's hard to turn it off. It's like, what's coming up next? Look at this. It's mesmerizing. I'm just skipping around to the end. Okay. Now one more. This has been circulating a bit on the web. Whoops, I don't want the sound. Let me turn the sound down. And I'm going to make it bigger so you can see it better. And you'll notice at the far lower corner right, see those strands, see that object? It's literally siphoning plasma and then it takes off. They'll show it again here. See, there it is, the lower right, siphoning the plasma. and then poof, it's gone. Can you imagine how big that is? Of course, Thoth told me many years ago that the sun was a portal in and of itself. All star suns are. And so it would seem that some of the really immense plasma bearers, shall we say, don't just generate it themselves. Some of them apparently are feeding from the sun or other solar stars. You know, I was watching today a little free pilot on a video series that I might wind up watching on Amazon Prime, because I feel there's an interior message to the whole show, and it has its usual amount of, commercialism, violent kind of stuff, but it's talking about it. The colony has to do with the planet Earth, human beings on Earth being like taken over by bad guy ETs, and you don't really see them, at least not in the segment I'm looking at. All you see are the intermediaries that are doing the dirty work for them, the ones that are, policing the country. Right now it's just showing LA. They've got fences all over the place. And these people that are policing them are human beings. They're human beings. And they're working for these ETs. Is it mind control? I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the show. But it seems to be, because I looked it up on Wiki and read about the show a little bit, that they're more simply, well, maybe they are a little mind induced, but they're just coerced, I guess. They don't want to be the ones in the prison camps, so if they can get the plush job of bossing everybody else around for the negative ETs, then that's what they're going to do. So it's a rather dire picture, and I don't believe in dire pictures as being the final product. However, there's no denying that what it's telling us, what it's trying to show us, is the truth of the matter, that there are beings, extraterrestrial beings involved on this earth that are directly involved with whatever you want to call it, New World Order. Thoth calls it the Owl, One World Legion, the ones that are in power. And these ETs are, striking deals with them. And that is a fact. I do believe, I say that is a fact. I don't know anything is a fact, but in my own little perspective and what I've received from Thoth and what I see out there, I would say it's pretty close to a fact. However, that's not really the big picture. That's the little tiny small picture that's going on in a very narrow bandwidth within one little centimeter of our reality, that we could choose to make it a very, very big thing. And if we did that, that little tiny centimeter would control our lives. And to some extent, it's already doing that, because we are making it big. Even those of us who don't believe in, spaceships or ETs communicating with the government or anything like that, they're making the choices by whom they obey, whom they feel is in authority, and whom they choose to serve. And when they're doing that, they're also choosing the ETs that are not, that are invasive and evasive on this planet, who are really calling a lot of the shots about what's going on. Not all the shots, because we have a lot of greedy people involved. But they are a huge, huge factor in all of this. So when you just roll over and do what the governments of the world tell you to do without any question or any taking direct action of a nonviolent nature to solve the situation or to bring it back into the hands of the people, um, you're simply shaking hands with the ETs and saying, okay, I'll cooperate, just leave me alone and I'll do anything you say. So the ultras that are showing us these beautiful light shows are giving us hope. They're saying, look at the shining light. Follow the light. Follow the light. We're here. You don't have to succumb to this other reality. The bigger reality, the greater reality that we represent and that you are in your inner being is far more expansive and more powerful than that tiny little bandwidth that you're giving your power away to. And that's really the message. It's the message in the skies. There are some extraterrestrial beings that are humanoid, but not Earth-like human ancestor beings, who Thoth has referred to years ago. He gives them names, okay? Not necessarily what names that they're called, in most cases not. Sometimes, yes, but certainly not in this case. He's calling them the Free Nephilim, P-H-R-E-E dash Nephilim. And he's chosen the Nephilim because that's a biblical term of some of the giants of the earth that were, some of them, a lot of them, very intrusive on the planet and did the DNA stuff, you know, interference and all of that. So he calls these beings the Free Nephilim, not F-R-E-E, but P-H-R-E-E. And I've forgotten what he said the word free meant in this regard. But the Free Nephilim are converts. They are of the humanoid types, with some with large eyes and whatever. And most of them have been intermixed with human forms. Some of them through this forced inbreeding stuff that's been going on, and some not, some through willing participation. But they have chosen not to be a part of the agenda of the intrusive ones who grab people in the night for genetic experiments and stuff. They've chosen not to be a part of that. And they've chosen to work with the ultras. So sometimes they make appearances and they might fool you. Not fool you on purpose, but you might think, oh my gosh, this is the bug-eyed creatures. But take a closer look. It may be, if you see some spiritual light coming out of them, it may be that's not who they really are. They may be one of these mixtures that works very closely with the ultra beings. Okay, I'm now in the Kira portal. I'm going to let you take a peek here at the Ascension Lotus Loci Frequency Matrix Galleries. Okay, the Lotus Loci are creational life forms that are evolving in the new Earth star's Numis Om, and also in the crystalline structure of our current DNA on micro levels. These loci, a focus of intent, are sentient, yet the higher forms contain encoded God commands that ordain high degrees of pure source radiance streaming into the entire New Earth star grid. The Lotus Loci forms are cosmic nutrients with which to feed our evolving New Earth star planet and bodies. So what we saw in the videos that I showed you, I mean, some of those had to be Lotus Loci or their kissing cousins. And they are giving us pure source radiance streaming down into this reality that is connecting to the New Earth star grid through the Pyramidus Radius matrix. So let's go into the galaxy, into the matrix. Let's see if I can find it here. Why are we not in there? Let me see. Oh, well, it's a video. Why did it come back over here? Sorry about that. Let me straighten this out. Well, that was a bad link. I'll have to fix that. But I'm going to show you just a little of the Lotus Loci video. Whoops, I'm going to turn the sound down so we can really communicate here. It's not turning the sound down. Okay. Let me see. How do I turn the sound down? All right. Now the sound is down. And I just want to skip over to some of these images. Now, I did this with, fractal software, so there's not like this an exact image of a particular lotus loci, but it is an image of a type of energy field, and these have different species. And I tried to create the graphics to match what I felt the species was calling me to create, you know. So they're water sylphs, like this is a water sylph. You wouldn't find this outside of a watery atmosphere. It would either have to have a lot of mist and vapor in the atmosphere, or it would be riding just above an ocean or a lake or underwater. Here are the terraforms now, and these are the ones that are of the earth. They would be very much within forests or just above the canopy of trees, something in that way, that regard. And there are others that are air sylphs, and the air sylphs would be more up in the sky, in the air. So these are the different ones that you can kind of get a feel of the types. Let's see if I can move it over a little bit and see what we have here. These are the crystalline beings. Of course, they work within and through crystals. So you could be working with some lotus loci crystalline beings when you're meditating with your crystals, certainly with the crystal skulls. As you see, they look more earth-like. Let's see what these are. Now these are the higher forms. I've forgotten what they're called at the moment, but they're really up there on the scale. And doesn't this kind of look like that ship we saw? I say ship, that phenomena in the sky that was showing on that particular video. Now this is really beginning to look like that sort of thing. And these would be seen up in the heavens, up in the sky. Those of you who are Kira Portal members can find this link in the Kira Portal. You will be able to find it as soon as I make that correction, which I will right after I finished making this video. The link didn't take you where it was supposed to. So when we're looking at all of this, we just have to know that we come out of this. This is who we really are. I don't mean we are Lotus Loci, but the stuff, the cosmic stuff that's creating all of this is us. But we have to also say it's also creating the bug-eyed beings and all of that too, and the little tarantulas and the centipedes and all of that. But on what level, What level do we choose to receive our light-encoded being? What do we choose to resonate with? And I choose this, or this type of thing, this type of creation. And so, dear ones, this is my share for the day. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will be talking again with you soon. Aloha.